everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of Lands of Zankar with me, Mangamad. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all safe and still going a little crazy. Anyway, today we are going to be working on this build behind me. We need to do something with it. It's driving me up the wall. So I'm going to attempt to build another wizard tower, but we're going to do it in a different pallet block. I'm thinking maybe red nether brick and stone, maybe. We'll have to see. I can't go too high because obviously it's going to interfere with that. I'm having a weird laggy issue over this morning. So how much can you work? Thank you. Whoa, okay, wow, alright, enough. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now. You know, my connection is fine, but actually, this isn't as close as I thought. Okay, so height maybe might not be an issue. I mean, I don't want to go too much higher than that anyway, but the issue I'm going to have is how to get it to sort of go round this, because we don't actually have a lot of space to work with. I may have to tweak the design so it's not quite circular, because I don't think I'm going to be able to fit it. The only other thing is if I move this pathway and I move the other and take the other pathway out, maybe. But I really don't want to do that because I spend a lot of time going backwards and forwards to the mall. It may not seem like it, but having to go, and obviously now I've got all my beacons up and everything else, it's quicker, but it might, but you know, I'd have to go all the way out round here. And then with that path gone, I'd have to go around here and then over the bridge. It doesn't seem like much, and obviously I could fly, but it is a bit of a waste of rockets just going from there to there. I do this a lot. So changing these paths out, I really don't want to do. And I don't really want to move it either. I mean, really, I should kind of move it over here, so I've got more room. But I don't know. We'll have to see how I can. I'm gonna have to go onto plots and fiddle with the settings, and I can set it as so. I mean, height actually shouldn't be that bad, but we don't need it super high. I want just one more level where I can actually have my brewing workshop. I'm thinking maybe like having a staircase going around the outside. You know, round going like in spiral. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. But anyway, so yeah, that's what the current plan is. However, we do now have micro blocks in the game. I think we've got the same pack the hermits have got, so we've actually got hermits heads as well. But what I've been doing is, in order to try and cut down on the lag a bit, I want to get rid of as many of these item frames as possible. So I've been swapping out the item frames with micro blocks instead. So I've got a few, not many. I've just done a little trade with tar, and I've got the sort of like the sand ones in. So yeah, so obviously I can't do them all. Because things like rockets don't have a microblock floor, carrots don't have a microblock floor, and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be able to replace all of them, but I can replace a large quantity of them, which should help with the lag issues. I mean, I'm running at 27 FPS, 30 FPS at my base, which, considering you know, I have a 26 a second gen 2600X. Zen 2 processor, or Zen 1.5 processor, you know, plenty of RAM, and like a Radeon 5700 XT graphics card. I really should not be struggling this much. There's a lot of lag, and I've, you know, experimented, and I've gone like into the nether and stuff, and I'm running full 60 FPS. I do only have a you know, a bog standard monitor, so I don't have a really high refresh rate, but it's, yeah, it's the lag is difficult, and I have a feeling a lot of it is caused by these item frames. So I'm going to nip over to the shopping center, because I'm going to open up one of the floors of potions 11 to basically make like a microblock trading hall. So I thought something like 2 nugget, like everyone can just put their heads in their respective corners, or in, you know, whatever we do, and you know, pay like, you know, if you want that one of them particular ones, you pay like 2 gold nuggets or something. I'm not, you know, as a general rule. But yeah, so I'm going to head over to there and do that real quick, and then come back, and then we'll attempt to try and figure out what we're going to do with this. So we'll see you guys at the shop. Okay guys, so that little job is all taken care of. So everybody has their own corner. I just went with some prismarine stairs just to make some shelves and some double chests, because I have a feeling everyone's going to have a lot of trades going on. Unfortunately, can't really go. I mean, you could just stick another double chest on top of there, I suppose, but we have got a little space to stick extra if we need. Now, the only person here missing is Stat. Unfortunately, Stat's computer has suffered a fatal demise, and it's going to be a little while before he can get back on the server, so I haven't put him in yet because he isn't really going to be in a position to do anything right now. Obviously, when he does get back on, then we can add him in as an extra corner, so that won't be an issue. I can always also like shrink these windows down a little bit and put them back like down to 1, so we can fit extra windows if we have to. But for now, I think 2 double chests is probably fine for everybody. And yep, so that little task is done. That, in case you're wondering why there's this random thing here, that is actually the chest that the trader is set up there. There isn't really anywhere else for me to move it and hide it, so I kind of just left it there for now. If I have to move it, I will, but it spent me so long working out how to set it up, I kind of didn't want to have to move it again. So yeah, so this is all done. Obviously, the price isn't set in stone. I just set it at 2 gold nuggets because that just seemed kind of right. Obviously, if you know, people aren't happy with that, then we can always change it. And obviously, if anyone wants to add some more decoration to the room, please by all means do so. It is a communal area. If everyone sort of kind of got involved, I mean, if you wanted to change and put your own shelves or put your own storage thing in your own little corner, that, you know, everyone can personalize it as much as they want. You know, this is kind of a communal area. I know it's in one of my shops, but honestly, the shopping district is starting to get a little crowded, and I didn't want to try and fight. It took me long enough to find that. Wow, I'm really having issues. You know, it took me a while to sort of figure out and clear a space, you know, for that build. I mean, we have got plenty of space, but there's a lot that needs kind of shifting, and I didn't want it stuck out the way. Thank you. I mean, I suppose really we possibly could have put it in the town hall, but again, that's not one of my builds. I didn't feel comfortable probably having to rip something out and do it. I'm not sure what's going on with that, so I didn't want to mess with somebody else, you know, with the sort of main town hall thing. So you know, I had that spare floor that was really doing nothing. I mean, I've actually got another 2 floors above that I'm not really doing it either, so I suppose we could put something in there if we wanted to. But yeah, so there's so that's there for everybody to use, and yeah, that's that little task done. Like I said, I didn't want to spend a massive amount of time on it. In fact, I've probably spent more time talking about it than I did actually spend doing it. So there we go. Right, we are going to head back to our base now. I've already checked my shops earlier. We still haven't made any sales, which is kind of a bit sucky. Tanro did buy some terracotta from me the other day, which is great. But everything is still a little bit quiet on the sales front, so I'm going to head back to base and start trying to work out how I'm going to fit this build in round our netherwart farm. So we'll see you there if I can actually ever get going. Yay! Right, see you in a bit. Okay, I finally managed to get a base pattern that actually fits the entire thing. I've had a hell of a time because of where it is and how much room I've got to play with. It's made things intensely difficult for me to try and work out where things are going. And the other downside is, as you can see from here, it means the path is not quite right. So what I'm going to have to do is this entire strip here is going to have to move down a few blocks, which in and of itself is not great. It's just more of a pain in the backside. Again, that build there isn't really essential. Unfortunately, this kind of patch here is, because it's got stuff to do with the smash in there. But yeah, I mean, and that would involve me having to drop like the whole system. That will be massively complicated to do. So I'm going to I have to leave this here and do something maybe with it. And put like a little building or something. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so the circle is in what we need to build. I just need to work with the plots thing now, because as it stands with the base, I can actually just show you it right now. It actually looks very squat. So obviously I need to increase the height of it a little bit, and try and sort of work out how I'm going to fit it in. But yeah, so this was the plots thing I was talking about. As I say, you can see it kind of, you can make it as bigger or as larger as you want. You can sort of add the side tower or get rid of the side tower completely if you want. You know, there's loads of different things you can do with it. So that's really cool. And then as this slider over here, you can just kind of drop, and it gives you a block by block placement of what you need to do as you go up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, apart from that, I need to adjust that so it doesn't have a step down in the first bit, because obviously we can't step it down because this build is in the way. And I can't really, I mean, I've got plenty of room at the front and the back, but the sides are the issue. I've only got a couple of blocks to play with, and I kind of still want some water left to the side. So it's kind of as big as it's going to get. So I need to play around with the schematic a little bit and try and get it looking sort of semi-decent. And I need to go and sleep because it's night time. And yeah, so I'm going to crack on with this now and actually try and get a start on a build going. Alright guys, just a quick update. This is where we are at so far. I think it's starting to come together okay. I've had a little bit of a hiccup with trying to do the little tower on the side, because I've had to adjust the design slightly, so the schematic actually calls for 6 in the middle and I've got 7 in order to make it fit all the way around without going too far. I forgot to change a few blocks, so there's a little bit of a wonk going on with the underside of this tower, which I've got fixed, but apart from that it is coming together. So this was actually initially straight down from that point to the floor, and it didn't look like there was enough steps in it, so I've managed to squeeze in an extra 1, which gives us a 1 water gap this side. I may very well end up having to I could possibly take this path out completely. I mean, it's not really required there. But this one is staying, but we have got a little bit, we have got 2 blocks there, so I think that will probably be it for this, for the staggering. Obviously that bit's going to be a little bit taller, so I think 3 steps will be fine, but I've obviously got to take this down now into the water, and the fun part is going to be this side, because I won't be able to just leave it floating. The tower bases are going to have to go all the way down here. Which over there isn't too bad, but over here is going to be immensely fun. So yeah, just thought I'd give you a little update, and I'm just going to carry on. And it's not going to stay all completely stone. I am intending to break it up with windows and you know, throw some cobblestone and what's the other, andesite and stuff in there, just to try and break it up. I'm not particularly great with those, but we'll see how we get on. So yep, I'm going to crack on, and hopefully we'll get a tower done pretty soon. Alrighty guys, are you ready for the changes? A lot has progressed since the end of the last clip, and we are on top of my mob farm, just to give you a better view of what has changed. So in 3, 2, 1, bam. So as you can see, a large amount has changed. This has been an absolute metric ton of work. But overall, I'm pleased with the results. So I wasn't happy with the build that was originally going to be my house. It kind of didn't quite fit. One of the pods was like 1 block away from the roof of that, and to be honest, I was kind of falling. You know, when you start a build and you kind of getting through it, and you kind of just, yeah. I kept putting off building it. It didn't seem right. I didn't really have the enthusiasm for it. I couldn't quite get my head into it. So I've just torn the whole lot down. Cleaned it all up. I've changed all the bridge, and the same with the bridge. You'll note, as nice as the little bridge that was just over there was, there was no others like anywhere else, and it didn't really match, and that was kind of bugging me a bit, as much as I did like the bridge. So this has all been cleaned up. This is all just a straight path now up there to there, and obviously all of this is opened up, and you know, I've cleaned up around here and everything else. And so this is the tower up close. It's not just the outside that's changed, the inside has changed a lot as well. So as you can see, I managed to get all the as random as I could. I just basically filled my inventory bar, my hotbar, with stuff, and whacked the sensitivity for the mouse wheel up to 10, and just like spammed the blocks and got rid of, placed them as random as I could possibly make it. As you can see, the base does. I haven't bothered doing that with the base all the way down here. It is just random. Bam. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why there's scaffolding just sitting down here, but there we go. So yeah, so the base goes all the way down underneath. It is a little bit messy under there, but yeah. So I've just put a door in, and this obviously takes us through to there. There is a little trapdoor up the top there, so I can access the Neverwalk farm from inside the tower if I wish. But yeah, so I'm quite pleased with the aesthetic that's gone here now, and as you can see, we've got a nice little winding staircase. This took me absolutely ages to do. I built it initially just out of cobblestone, just to get it through, and then had to try and randomize it and then add more on, because I wanted to put the fences on and like the little lanterns going around there. And I've used birch purely because birch is quite a light color. Spruce and dark oak is quite obviously dark. Acacia is just bright orange, and oak just kind of still wasn't quite bright enough, and I felt it needed a little bit more contrast on the outside, so that's where I went with birch. You can see I've grey carpeted all along these. Now bear in mind, I'd already built all these walls up, so for every one of these you see, I had to take the wall all the way back down and then go all the way back up. So I did that, and that took me pretty much most of yesterday. For me, it took me a very, very, very long time. I spent ages on the roof. I got stuck trying to do the roof up on the top there because I've tweaked the design slightly, the schematic couldn't quite follow, and for some reason I couldn't quite get the second little roof right. But I think it's kind of okay now. But again, that took a lot, and obviously that took a lot of Neverwalk brick as well. And yes, so you go up this nice little path up all the way around the outside. I've been up and down this path all day. I absolutely love it. We've got some windows in here, and this is where you get to the top. So I've made this sort of platform here as well, so you can land on it, and with the jump boost that I've got, I can actually jump off the top of the tower if I wish. And if we go into the tower, you can see this is the first floor, or the top floor. I'm planning on, like, this central beam is going to go up, and I'm going to try and sort of do some roof trusses if I can, or I might just leave it dark. I don't know if I should just chop that down a little bit, or maybe put some lanterns on the top. I'm not too sure. You guys let me know. What do you think? Should I try for some roof trusses? I'd obviously have to neaten up a lot of these. Some of these where I've built them, they've kind of gone a little bit. There's bits sticking out that shouldn't be sticking out, so the black kind of does hide that a little bit. But yeah, so this is the first floor. I've done a raised platform here, so the platform doesn't actually go in front of the big windows that I've got there. And I've just chucked a bed up on here now. I may make this little corner bit like a bedroom. But then we go down here. I've got like a nice little spiral staircase. I've gone for spruce slabs with dark oak fencing. Again, just trying to break up the colour scheme a little bit. I didn't think the birch would suit in here, but I kind of like the contrast of colours between the dark oak and the spruce. I think it works well. This is the second floor. Obviously, you can see we have the windows going out each side. Now, I had to shrink this one's not quite as big, purely because, obviously, as you can see, it goes up there, and that's where the door in was going to be. So I kind of, tweaked it slightly just to fit in there. So I was quite happy with that. And then we go down to the next floor, and I haven't done anything. I'm probably going to carpet this floor. I'm not entirely sure, or I might slab it. I haven't really decided. The lighting is actually more for underneath than it is for up here. But it does light up here a lot, so I think carpet might be the way to go, and we might try and make some sort of crazy pattern with the carpet. And then this bit up here, this is kind of where I'm planning to put my little potion workshop, so there's going to be loads of barrels and stuff like that, and obviously all the potion stands and things. So this is going to be my kind of little potion area. This was initially what the entire build was all about, was making this basically having a potion room above the above the nether wart farm, because that's what it mainly was. And as you can see, there's my little staircase just there. But yeah, and it kind of, as the build progressed, I realized how large it was actually going to end up being, and I thought, you know what, it actually, I may as well make this my house. And I'm actually really glad I did, because this has pushed me to do a lot. Like, I'm not very good at doing spiral staircases, and obviously I've had to do 2 of those with absolutely no help from anybody. I'm quite happy. I was going to put a banister all the way out, but then it would have made the stairs like massively wider, and I kind of quite like it like this, actually, to be honest. And you know, obviously the big one that runs around the outside as well is something that I haven't really done before. I've kind of done a bit like curvy paths, but not an actual full-on curved path around here. So I'm really happy with how it's turned out. And yeah, so I have been getting mobs spawning on the roof. I don't know if that's worth me, if I'm gonna have to go over it with carpet or not. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm probably gonna rip that path out. It doesn't really serve a purpose as such, and it does encroach on the side of that build a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't 100% decided on that. But as you can see, it has cleaned the base up a lot, as it made it look a lot neater. And I kind of actually like the portal being open. I think that actually looks a lot better than it did before. And I would still need to do that. But yeah, so I think that is basically all I've got time for today. As you can see, all the windows are in. I don't know what to do with the next floors down. I might just leave them as is. I'm not entirely sure. If you guys have got any suggestions, by all means, drop them down into the comments below. And apart from that, guys, that is me done for today. So I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And don't forget to come and see me on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And Sunday is my Minecraft day. So I hope to see you guys there. As for me, that's me done for this week. And hope you have a good one. Stay safe, everybody. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.